Oh, well, it's showing that we're live, and we are live, and I do apologize if it's a little, kinda dark in here. I thought it would have been brighter. Um, but anyway, we are live. It is officially 3 o'clock Eastern Time. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jer Bear. Today's date is Sunday, April 3rd, 2022. So glad you could join me. Usually Dad and Amy are out here. Last week they were out here, but this week Dad had to go help my brother, and Amy, she's hiding out in the bedroom. Can't say she will or won't come out of the bedroom, but if she does, she knows that she's always more welcome to join me out here for the Sunday video update. I hope you've all been doing well. I've been doing pretty good. Today I kind of have like a slight sinus headachy kind of a thing going on, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. Um, so, if you're new to the Sunday video update, I just want to point out that I am a childhood cancer survivor of 33 years, and most people know me as Jer Bear. That's been my nickname for 33 years. And every Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, I do what's called the Sunday video update on my YouTube channel. And I do have the chat logs open. You have to be a subscriber in order to leave a comment in the chat log. And just as a friendly reminder, will behave yourself when you come into my chat logs. Otherwise, I'll have you removed instantly without thinking about it. And I'll never see or hear from you again, which will be fine by me. So, to talk about the week in review, usually at this point, I would be asking Dad, like, how was your week, man? But Dad's not here. Dad's helping my brother. And Amy, I would usually ask how her week is going or how her week was, but she's in the bedroom, so she's not available for commentary on that. But I will tell you how my week was. My week was pretty good. Um, there something happened. Everybody knows what happened at the Oscars last week, and that's probably one thing I'm going to talk about here in this week's Sunday video update. So brace yourselves. Um, but other than that, I just want to say that my week has been actually pretty good. Last night I went to my down to my stepdad's. We watched WrestleMania. I heard it was a 2 night event, so I'm assuming that tonight will be the second half of the event. I didn't know it was a 2 night thing. I thought WrestleMania was just WrestleMania and done and over with. Now I haven't watched wrestling. I don't keep up with wrestling. As much as I used to, like in my younger days, I loved watching wrestling. Hulk Hogan was my favorite wrestler, and Macho Man. And, like back in the 80s and 90s, the old school wrestlers, Roddy Piper. I don't watch WWE. Not, I'm just not into wrestling nowadays because they've gotten too mainstream, they've gotten too political, and a lot of the athletes, the superstars, if you will, they're not as charismatic as the wrestlers from the days of old. So I just kind of got bored with watching wrestling, and I don't follow the storylines anymore. But because my stepdad invited me down, he just wanted somebody to watch WrestleMania with him, and I figure what the hell, I'll drive down there and watch it. And although I don't know who a lot of these people are, I'll watch it anyway. Um, it was okay. Stone Cold Steve Austin came back last night. First time in like 19 years he's been inside of a wrestling ring, but it was pretty cool to see. He's moving slower because he's got bad knees and a bad back and a bad neck, but he beat Kevin Owens with the Stone Cold Stunner, not once but twice. Of course, people were throwing cold cans of beer, and he was clinking them together and drinking them, doing the vintage Stone Cold Steve Austin thing. That's his style. That's his trademark. And it was pretty cool. They were in Dallas, Texas last night. I think they're still going to be there tonight at the AT&T Stadium. Um, but I thank my stepdad, Jimmy, for inviting us down, Dad and I, to watch the first half of WrestleMania anyway. Like I said, I wasn't aware that it was a 2-part or a 2 night event, but it is. And I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing tonight. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back down there and watch the second half, or I'm just going to hang here at the house. Um, I got some other things I got to do, but my week was pretty good. Now, and I was in Lansing last week too. I decided to take a joyride down to Lansing just to get out of the house for a while, and yeah, so it's been a great week. I paid my bills. My bills are caught up for the month, and I am ready to rock and roll, so to speak, in terms of just I can breathe. Okay, my bills are caught up. I took care of what needed to be taken care of. Now I'm just relaxing. Now I'm just hanging back and trying to stay warm. Um, we did get some more snow overnight. I know this is spring, and everybody's saying, "Where the fuck is spring?" Well, I agree. Where the fuck is spring? We're sick of the snow. We're sick of the cold. We're ready for the warmth. We want the warm weather to come back. And because I pay very close attention to the weather reports, some get messages on Facebook or text messages or emails, and people be asking me, "What's the weather supposed to be like this week? What's" And if I pay close enough attention, I'll say, well, this is what's going to happen on this day. They're forecasting this, that, and the other. But really, guys, you can watch it for yourselves and you can kind of, discern and distinguish which days will be pleasant, which days won't be pleasant, when we're going to get precipitation, if it's going to rain, snow. I mean, you can watch this yourselves, but they figure because I always watch the weather, it's kind of fascinating to me. I like to let people know on occasion on a Facebook post. They say, well, today we're expecting some snow, or it's going to be really super warm today. Get out and enjoy it, but expect a big drop off in temperatures, kind of a thing. I sound like a meteorologist, although I do have friends who are in the business of like being disc jockeys at radio stations and TV news personalities. I'm very good friends, and I'm well known to a lot of local TV and radio stations. So I just relay what I hear on the TV, or I'll share something on Facebook from one of the news pages on Facebook, which is that's kind of what I do. People are always asking questions, and I don't want to be rude and say, well, fucking find it yourself. I just say, let me see what I can find. So, what I'm going to talk about, because I have nobody else in the room, Amy's actually got laundry going right now. It's for my brother. So, if someone does come in, or if you hear some noise or hear people talking in the background, I do apologize in advance, although they were notified that today is Sunday video update day, and I'd rather not have my live streams being interrupted. Um, so I just want to let you know in advance. So to talk about this Will Smith and Chris Rock thing that happened, I know it's been all over the internet, it's all over social media. I even recorded a daily rant giving my thoughts and opinions about what happened or what should have happened. And I'm standing quite firm to my own thoughts and opinions. And that is, although Chris Rock should have been more, he should have, I understand he's a comedian, and it was a rather lightweight joke. Like it wasn't, like a big time, like a slobber knocker kind of a joke. Um, being a childhood cancer survivor, I understand alopecia, because the treatment can make you lose your hair. And, there's a lot of kids out there. I'm thinking of, cancer warriors. They lose their hair and they have this, they're very self conscious about their image, how they look to the rest of the world. And so that's why I had said what I said in the Daily Rant recording, which is Chris Rock should have been more understanding and a lot less, insensitive about alopecia, baldness. And of course, there's something else leading to that. So in that regard, Chris Rock was wrong. He behaved badly. He should have been a little more understanding, and I'm not gonna, burn him at the stake. However, Will Smith, on the other hand, I don't care if the guy made a joke about your wife. You do not physically assault someone, one, and to do it on national fucking television where the world is watching, you made a complete and utter fool of yourself. And it was a disgusting display of someone who is, he let his anger and his emotions get the best of him. He's not justified in smacking someone. And I see a lot of people talking about this on Facebook. They say, well, Will Smith was justified in hitting Chris Rock, because Chris Rock was being mean to his wife and blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck if you took that as, well, any real man would have hit somebody who was insulting their wife or girlfriend. No, I'm sorry. You're wrong. Even if it was a lightweight joke, which, as I said, Chris Rock should have kind of thought through that clearly. And if he didn't understand at that moment in time, Will Smith, instead of smacking the man on stage, he should have taken Chris back, like backstage somewhere, pulled him off to the side backstage and said, hey, look, Chris, I understand you're a comedian. That's your trade. That's what you do. That's your trademark. But your jokes about my wife are kind of making her upset. Could you please refrain from telling jokes about my wife? Like in that light, anyway. And the joke was because of Jada Pinkett Smith's alopecia. He said, "Hey, GI Jane too," because if you recall, in GI Jane, Demi Moore had her head shaved. I remember GI Jane. Demi Moore was she was fantastic. She was incredible in that movie, but it was a lightweight joke. And Will Smith had really gone over the he had gone off the deep end with that, and he just walked up on stage and whopped him. And some people are excusing his behavior, and I think he was a dick for doing it. He could have been a lot more professional. He could have been more mature and appropriate about that, and he wasn't. And then sitting down, and mind you, if you didn't see this last week, which I'm sure many of you have, but he was laughing. Will Smith thought the joke was funny. He was laughing at all of Chris Rock's jokes until he saw Jada Pinkett Smith roll her eyes. Then, kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say pussy whipped, but it was kind of a pussy whip thing to do. To suddenly just flip the switch and get mad because your old lady don't like it. And then want to keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. And he said it twice. It's like, wow, dude. And this just happened over the weekend where Will Smith had announced that he was resigning from the Academy. He was going to step down. Although I heard that the Academy committee is looking to seek some kind of punishment for Will Smith for his actions because it's intolerable, which it should be. That's violence. He assaulted a man. That's violence. That's battery. You can't hit somebody just because they said something that you didn't agree with. It sets a very bad precedent, not only for the Oscars, the Academy, but to you now when you go to nightclubs or like open mic night where comedians are just trying to make their big break or get their big break or whatever, now that sets a very poor precedent for the nightclubs and stand up open mic nights all over this country. Now that's putting out the message that, well, if you say something that I don't like, then I'm going to walk up on stage and smack the living fuck out of you. You can't do that. But my thoughts and opinions still stand firm that both Will Smith and Chris Rock behave badly, and I understand that maybe Chris Rock wasn't aware of the situation. Although Chris Rock has said some other choice words about Jada Pinkett Smith in the past, so I'm sure at some point he was aware of what was going on. Maybe he wasn't. I don't want to speak for the guy, but all I'm saying is, Will Smith, you could have handled it in a much better way. And I'm not saying that I'm not a fan of Will Smith or Chris Rock. I'm big fans of Will Smith and Chris Rock. When I was a kid, I watched Little House. Holy fuck. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Where did Little House come from? Before my time. I watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when I was a kid, and Will Smith was funny. I've always been a fan of Will Smith and Alfonso Ribeiro and James Avery and the rest of the cast. And I've always been a fan of Chris Rock when he was on Lethal Weapon 4. I mean, I really love Chris Rock on Lethal Weapon 4. He was fucking hilarious on Lethal Weapon 4. Um, I don't have any hatred towards the guys. I mean, all I'm saying is it could have been handled in a much more mature, appropriate, professional way instead of how it panned out. And it has been the talk of the internet for the past week. It's been on every major, you know, outlet, news outlet, and it's really getting a lot of momentum and a lot of heat and a lot of press. And so I figure, because I have over 300 subscribers on my channel, why not give my thoughts and opinions about the slap? Although I don't watch the Oscars religiously, I don't watch them at all. I think I'm right where everyone else is on Facebook when they say, well, had it not been for the slap, I wouldn't have even known the Oscars were on TV. That's kind of where I'm at too. So I agree in that regard. What am I drinking? Ginger ale. Verner's ginger ale. Michigan made Verner's ginger ale. Kind of looks like tea if you're not aware of what I'm drinking, but I'm drinking ginger ale. And it's really good. I like ginger ale when it's cold. Usually I'm drinking Pepsi, but Pepsi, the price of a 2-liter had gone up. $2.39 for one bottle, and it's like, no fucking way. No way. I am not going to spend that kind of money on one bottle of pop. I'm sorry, but no. I'm trying to think what else happened this past. Oh, when I went to Lansing, I just went on a little joyride to Lansing, and the usual, drive around and check things out. Went by Sparrow Hospital, went by clinic where I used to go for my checkups over in East Lansing, and I drove by lottery headquarters. I drove by the state capitol building. I had driven by the Lansing State Journal, the newspaper office. I had driven by, I'm trying to think what else. The Michigan Retailers Association, which is actually across the street from the Michigan Lottery. So of course it's capital city, so you're bound to run into a lot of state offices, especially in the downtown area. And that's what I did. I kind of just drove around a little bit. Amy, what are you doing in there? Eating. Playing. Oh, she's okay. All right. She's playing a game and talking to her son. I was kind of hoping someone would have been out here with me to kind of take over so I could take a break from talking. Huh? Okay. I'm not twisting your arm. I'm not holding a butter knife to your throat. I don't have a butter knife. She'll be out in a little bit. She's talking to her son. I don't want to take her away from her mother and son time. It just kind of helps move things along quicker when I have someone else, because me talking and not taking breaks, it's kind of rough on the vocal cords. But yeah, so I went to Lansing and I drove around and I almost hit some deer on the way home. I went by the old farmhouse where I used to live on Chapin Road, and if I would have been going faster, I would have clipped her hindquarters. A deer jumped out in front of me, and I just missed her. And it's like, whoa, I don't need to be hitting deer. I don't need to hit any fucking deer. I'm not looking forward to, repairs on my vehicle. And I'm not looking forward to having my vehicle damaged as a result of a deer. Although deer, compared to turkeys, deer can, they do some considerable damage to a vehicle. But have you ever hit a turkey? That's worse, I think, in my opinion. That's worse than hitting a deer, because turkeys are, I don't know, man. They just do more damage than a deer would to a car. And I've seen the damage done by a turkey, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to hit any turkeys. It's bad enough. I don't even want to hit a deer. I hit a woodchuck though, and I feel bad. I hit a woodchuck, but he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm not gonna hit the brakes because a woodchuck runs out in front of me. Um, he actually darted out, and I didn't have time to stop anyway, even if I could have. So I hit him. I don't know if he died. I might have stunned him, but if I had to guess, he probably died, and I feel bad about that because it was a living thing, you know. So I'm trying to think of what else was going on this past week. I had written to some cancer warriors. I had done a video chat with a cancer warrior, um, which is always exciting because I get to talk to the cancer warrior and we get to share our stories. They share their story, I share mine, and the parents are always there, and so that was nice. It was nice to be able to talk to a cancer warrior via video chat, and I have friends I talk to like voice calls and video chats and things like that. Um, a matter of fact, speaking of a cancer warrior, today a cancer warrior had scans, had checkups, and I'm keeping them in my thoughts, and I hope all the test results come out great. I am really good friends with the warrior's mother, and yeah, I'm really hoping that things turn out. I'm hoping that things go well. The chat log is open for subscribers only, just as a reminder. And, like I said, you can come in, you can say hi, you can say what's up. However, if I suspect that you're being nasty or if you're going to come in just saying stupid stuff, you will be permanently banned. And if you don't like those rules, then unsubscribe now. And I won't miss a single drop of sleep. So, but yeah, come on in and say hello and say whatever's on your mind. Talk about the Will Smith scenario. You can talk about anything you want, but you're going to be respectful. And if you come in saying stupid stuff, you're gone. But Amy, she'll be coming out in a little bit. She's just taking care of some business in the bedroom. She was video chatting with her son and eating. I'm trying to think of what else I can talk about because there's really not a lot that happened this past week. I went and paid bills, as I pointed out, so all my bills are caught up for this month. Uh, hmm. I really need to write all this shit down because when I talk about things, I think I hit the nail on the head, and what happens is I run out of things to say, and I've only been here for a little over 20 minutes, so about 25 minutes. And I did start a little bit late today because I thought I clicked on go live, and for some reason it took me out of it, so I had to reopen the page and do it all over again. But we're here, and I'm going to be here until about 4 o'clock. And that's every Sunday for those of you who might be new and watching this from wherever you're watching this from. 3 o'clock Eastern time. I live in Michigan, so 3 o'clock Eastern time. And I go, and this is every Sunday, most every Sunday. And if I don't, have anything, or should I say, if I can't make the Sunday video update on Sunday, I'll release a quick video at 3 o'clock saying, "Hey, no Sunday video this week. Apologies. Come back next week." But I'm usually here every Sunday. And Amy has joined us off camera. I was just because my voice, like my voice box kind of gets raw from talking so much. How are you doing? Good. She's just doing good.
Good. Thanks to you.
Thanks to me.
Yeah. Even though I'm sore today, Jared, I literally
Yeah.
took a spill the other day and Dad
Yeah.
had to pick me up off the
I was
floor.
I was in my I was in my bedroom. I was kicking back, and I think I was writing in my journal or checking my Facebook notifications or something. I don't remember. I think I was checking Facebook, and I didn't even hear you hit the floor.
Uh-uh.
All I heard was "son of a bitch, motherfucker," and I thought maybe you spilled something or
Yeah.
you know, yeah, you spilled something. Your whole fucking body went down. And
Yeah.
then she hollered through the door, "Jared, are you busy?" I said, "No, what's up?" She says, "I fell." It's like, fuck. So,
My son was on the video chat
right,
on Facebook Messenger with me. He's getting off the phone with me. He's calling Dad.
yeah,
Dad's trying to call you on your cell.
right,
He's trying to call me on mine. He's trying to call me on yours. And it's like,
yeah. But I had to help her up off the floor because she really took a tumble. And it's like,
well,
oh
listen, I was
man,
sore today.
that's terrible. Yeah, I was totally unaware of what happened because I thought, like I said, maybe you spilt coffee or you spilt, try feeding
Yeah.
the animals or whatever. So I didn't think anything
Well,
of it.
that's why I figured I'd holler, Jared, I fell. Can you come help me?
Yeah, yeah, and I did. I got right up and had to pick her up off the floor because she what happened is we got that tongue and groove flooring in the kitchen and we haven't completed that project in the kitchen, and one of the boards come up, and I'm thinking what happened is your pant leg had caught onto it,
Again.
and you it fucked up your step, so
Yeah.
down you go, kind of a thing. You lost your balance, and Dad mentioned something about that. He said he was going to fix it or do something about it. I'm not even sure, but
Right now, we ain't got the time.
yeah, he's over at my brother's house right now because he's in the process of moving, and Dad's been helping him trying to move. So that's why he's not joining us this week. But I would rather people not to be rude, but I've had my Sunday video updates rudely interrupted by people who, and they've clearly said, well, I don't want to be on that shit. Well, first of all, it wasn't shit until you came into it. And secondly, if you don't want to be on it, then stay the fuck out of my camera. It's that simple. Um, but I don't like my stuff being rudely interrupted. But in any event, I mean, today there's no interruptions. And it's just me and Amy. Dad, of course, is over at my brother's. I don't mind people coming over, but
And my son Josh texted me on Facebook.
yeah, I don't mind people coming over, but don't denigrate what I'm doing. Don't talk shit about what I'm doing. Don't talk shit about me. Be respectful, at least. And, just understand that people, I've been doing this now for a very long time, the Sunday video updates. I don't even know how long I've been doing it. I'd say maybe about 7 years. If I go back to the first update that I had posted on my YouTube channel that I uploaded, and it was from an older Facebook account that I had, and somehow I was able to save that video and upload it to my YouTube channel. I don't even know how I could do that or if that option's available anymore. So, um, I'd say I've been doing this for about 7 years, but I just started going live with the Sunday video updates. I don't know. I'd say about a year or something like that. I think it's been a year because prior to going live, all of my Sunday video updates have been pre recorded, which means that I can go through and edit and, like I have a fade in, fade out. I used to promote GuideStar. I haven't done that in a long time. Um, and most people just being smart alecky and, you know, oh, you forgot to promote GuideStar. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't forget to promote Prime Star. GuideStar. Prime Star was a satellite TV company which hasn't existed in years. No, I don't promote GuideStar because I think people have caught on for the most part that there are scamming, scheming people in the childhood cancer world. And if you notice, I don't use the word community because the word community carries some baggage with it. As I pointed out any number of times before, I am not someone who's a member of a community of anything. A demographic might be more like it. And I've been using that word for at least a couple of years now. Demographic sounds more realistic and more closer to the truth than saying community. Um, and it has actually prompted other people, they want to call themselves advocates or activists or whatever they want to call themselves to virtue signal. They started using this word demographic ever since I started using it. So, what's up?
Oh, I just said ow.
Oh, so that's there's a lot of changes I had to be made, but I used to promote GuideStar as a way to show people that there are some fraudulent ass people out there. And GuideStar contains a listing of all of the 501c3 nonprofit organizations just to show that they're legitimate. And at the time, someone claiming to have a nonprofit organization for monetary gain did not, in fact, have a nonprofit organization. And they were collecting money under false pretenses, at which point we figured this person out, and now we don't hear of them anymore, which is no sweat on me. So we took care of that. And then we have other people who have been not only have they refused to pay taxes, which resulted in their nonprofit organizations getting shut down, but they have been scheming and scamming people for any number of years, preferably people in the childhood cancer world. And me being the guy I am trying to point this out, that this is fucking wrong. You need to stop supporting people like this. You need to stop giving them your money. You need to stop promoting their nonprofit organization. You need to stop sharing their pages. You need to stop doing this because it's not benefiting anybody, not as a whole. When I point this out, it turns out that I'm the bad guy because I'm trying to start drama, start trouble. No, you don't get to use the word drama when I'm factually pointing out what's happening. It's not drama. If you want to call this a community, which I wouldn't recommend, but if you're going to use the word community, at least understand how the fucking community should work or how any community should work. You're supposed to work together collectively. And when someone is being fraudulent and they're doing things that should not be happening, they should not be using sick and dying children as a way to get money, as a get-rich-quick scheme, and to be relevant because they fail at everything else in life. When you fail to see the problem with that, you become the problem. And then, just like that, in a snap of a finger, you're fucking history. You're out of my life. I'm done with you. And over the years, I've caught on to that little, the word community, because of the fact that the word community does carry some baggage with it. And anytime you claim to be a member of a community like the childhood cancer world or whatever, you reap the benefits of popularity, and that's what most people are going for. Not me. I prefer to do things much differently because of the fact that I am not a parent whose child was sick, because I don't have kids, but I was one of those kids. So that puts me in a very unique position apart from all these other people who want to be a part of something. The fear of missing out. You're not missing out on anything. I don't care if it's CareFest. I don't care if it's anything related to the True 365. I don't care. It's all bullshit. It's bogus. You're not missing out. There's nothing to miss out on. Now, if you go to CareFest, I mean, that's your own stupidity and your own volition. I'm not going to say you're stupid, but what you're doing is stupid. Supporting this is stupid. And that's all, those are my thoughts. But I don't want to get too carried away in a rant about that, because I've talked about that in any number of daily rants and Sunday video updates. I've spoken about this overtly over time. But I'm pretty much on my own in terms of I'm what? You're sorry for what? No, I'm talking about I'm alone in terms of being a childhood cancer survivor. That's what I was going to say. No, she got up to go to the utility room, take care of the laundry. No, what I'm saying is I'm, as far as a childhood cancer survivor is concerned, I'm alone in that regard, because I'm not a part, I don't consider myself to be a member of a community, more like the demographic, which I am, whether people like it or not. That's just the way it is. But she'll be back in a little while. I'm just sitting here rambling and talking about things that I've covered. I I've beaten that dead horse many, 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 many times. And I think people are starting to get it. I think people are starting to see it for the joke that it is. I focus more on the people at hand, and the interactions that we have and the talks that I have are, they're between us, which is what I like. It doesn't get out to everybody to see, because it's nobody else's business. How I help somebody, or how I, if I have a conversation with someone, a particular individual, it's nobody's business but mine and the person who I'm speaking with. Because the next thing you know, you have people who are against me going and telling them a bunch of shit about me that's not true, and convincing them that this is true when they, in fact, have no evidence to their claim. They have no way of verifying that any of this is true. It's all he said, she said, and alibis and whatever, which has happened to me a lot. And every week I keep coming back. Now, if I had warrants for my arrest, I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't be coming back every single week. And for the weeks that I'm not here, it doesn't have anything to do with anything legal. I just may not be able to do the video update for that particular week. But no, there's no legal trouble. I'm not under investigation. I'm not, I've never been in jail. I've never been in prison. I'm not on any list or what have you. I'm nothing like that. I'm just a guy. I tell it like it is. And if you don't like it, tough shit, the door's that way. But that's just me. And I think people now are starting to realize that I am not the guy who's just going to bend over backwards on command and take shit. I had to set boundaries. It was hard to do because I'm a very loving and giving and caring individual, but I have to fight back sometimes. I have to give vitriol, and I hate to do it because it's not who I am, but it's got to be done to show these people, or to put these people on public notice that you're not going to fuck with me. You're not going to run me over and get away with it. And I had to be very stern, and I had to be very strict about that. But overall, generally, I have lots of friends. I'm loved by many, many people, more than I could ever imagine. And I have lots and lots of friends from all over. I'm a well-known person from my hometown. I'm a well-known person. I've got friends on the internet that I've met. I'm well-known here on YouTube. I'm well-known on Facebook. I'm just well-known. I don't have Twitter anymore. I gave that up because of the trolls and the online predators, and I have no use for any of that. But I don't have Instagram. I don't have Snapchat. I have never had Instagram or Snapchat, and I will never have Instagram and Snapchat. So if you see any accounts, if you see any accounts on Snapchat or Instagram with my name or my picture or my profile picture of the bird or whatever the case may be, I urge you to report that, because it's not me. I don't have Instagram. If I had Instagram or Snapchat, I would announce that I have an Instagram or Snapchat, and you'd be the first to know. I don't just go and make social media accounts without friends knowing that I'm on these platforms. So I have just YouTube and Facebook. That's all I have. I don't use any other form of social media. And I guess to a sense, to a degree, YouTube is social media because it's on the internet and I communicate with people via YouTube. I can comment on people's videos if the comment section's open and available, or I can comment on, in the chat logs, or, I can communicate with people and, through email. I can get their email address and we can, communicate that way. There's always a way to get in touch with me. I'm not a hard person to find. That's become my slogan. Jerry Bear is not a hard person to find, and I'm not. I'm not a hard person to get in contact with. If in fact you want to, and that might be a bad thing too. I'm easy to reach out to. I'm easy to contact. But I want for people to know, the people who genuinely care and people who genuinely understand what's going on. I want for those people to reach out to me and to have conversations with me and say, well, this is what this person said. And I just, can we talk about that? Well, sure. We can talk about anything. I'm always open for dialogue. I'm open to conversation, civil conversation. But the first time I detect bullshit, I'm going to call you out on it. So be prepared, brace yourselves. That's the kind of person I am. But I think Amy's still in the utility room, tending to the laundry. I can hear water running in the washer. But this past week it's been pretty good. I've had maybe a couple bumps in the road, not anything, of major consequence, but there's been a couple of bumps, not too bad. It was kind of a rough week, but I think it was more good than it was bad. What's that?
The week?
Yeah. There were a couple of.
It started out bumpy for me.
Yeah. I was just telling the viewers that there were some bumps in the road, but overall it wasn't too bad. This week, I don't know what's happening this week. It is the first Sunday in April. And speaking of April, Dad did get me with an April Fool's joke. Just one. Just one.
He got me too.
Just one time.
One time too.
It was just about, I'd say about 12:30 on the morning of April 1st. I was getting ready for bed. I typed out a post on Facebook. I was ready for bed. I was dog tired. And Dad says, "Oh shit." And I said, "What?" He says, "You're not going to like this." I said, "What?" "Spill your guts." "What?" "Your van's covered in snow." So what? I get up, or actually, no, I'm figuring out bills. So it was, yeah, the morning of April 1st, because I was calculating my bills. He says, "Get up and look." Whatever, I'll get up and look. My van was not covered in snow. And he says, "April Fools." Like he whispers it.
Oh, he come up.
Motherfucker.
Oh, there's someone here. I think you better go check and see who it is. I go check who it is, and there ain't nobody there.
Yeah.
How stupid do I feel?
And he says, "April Fools."
Yep.
Now there are some people who don't like April Fools. They don't like the April Fools day. They don't like to be pranked. I think some people do take it to the extreme. Some things just aren't funny. Like when people are saying that they're pregnant, they're expecting, they're going to get married, or someone got hurt or killed.
Yeah, those ones are the stupidest ones of ever.
Those aren't funny.
No.
That's serious. But there are people who just don't like being pranked at all. Like a buddy of mine, he's a local news reporter. He said that his kids got him good. They took one of those Sharpie markers and they drew a spider on the toilet paper roll. He thought it was a real spider. And it scared the crap out of him. And he says, I just don't like April Fool's jokes. And it's like, come on, man, have a sense of humor. That's very mild compared to, people are they joke about, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a baby, I'm pregnant, and this, that, and the other. And I don't think that's funny.
No.
Because the thing is too, and some good valid points were made on Facebook, and I guess I never really thought about it too much. But it's a cheap shot at the people who have been trying eagerly to have a baby. They've been trying to conceive a child and can't for reasons of fertility issues or miscarriages and things like that. So that I can understand where that would be taking it a bit too far.
Yeah.
Now getting hurt or killed, that's not a laughing fucking matter, because that's devastating. If someone that I loved and cared about, someone who was close to me and my heart, was killed, I would be devastated. Oh, April Fools, by the way. No, it's not fucking funny. You don't see me laughing. That's not a joke. And so that I understand.
Another one I don't like is when they come out and say, oh, a deer hit my car. And you're like,
Dad did that.
what? Are you okay? Did it come through the window?
Dad did that to Jay, my brother Jay. Hey, put Crystal on the line. Why would you want to put her? She's got heart trouble. Why would you want to scare her? And I told Dad, I said, you got to be careful because she's got heart problems.
And she's going to take it seriously.
Yeah, she's going to take it serious. And she still laughed about it because Dad had to hurry up and say, April Fools, honey, April Fools. It was a joke. It was a joke. Yeah, you got to be careful, though, because some people take those things very seriously. And yeah. And how can I forget this? My dad has a birthday coming up on Wednesday.
My mom's is tomorrow. My real mom.
Oh yeah.
4/4/44.
April 4th. Yeah. So my dad's got a birthday coming up on Wednesday.
Yours is tomorrow too.
And your mom's is tomorrow.
My real mom's and Judy Kirsten.
And Judy, the late Judy. That's weird to say.
The late Judy, yeah.
That's weird to say. On the 9th, my niece Ariana has a birthday. She's going to be 14, I think. And on the 11th, my grandma Charlene would have been 81. She would have been 81 on the 11th. So there's a lot of birthdays coming up. And on Wednesday, I have two little cousins, Ethan and Hunter, who share a birthday with my dad. Weren't they born on the same day?
The 6th.
Yeah, I mean, they were born the same day, the same year, something like that. So they have birthdays coming up. I don't even know how old they're going to be. What, 9 years old, I think? 8 or 9?
I think Ethan's going to be 9.
I think, yeah.
Because Lexi's a year younger than him.
Yeah.
They're all like roughly a year apart.
So, well, Anthony's going to be 19.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Hunter and Ethan, they're gonna I think they're gonna be 9.
Yeah.
On Wednesday. I don't know if they're having a party. We don't hear anything about that anymore, which I guess is
Them have lately been doing everything up there. I don't know.
Maybe they're just keeping to themselves. But I don't know. I don't hear from a lot of the family anymore, so I couldn't tell you if they're having a party. But yeah, so there's and my cousin Tony, he would have been 46. Yep, my cousin Tony. So for those of you who don't know this, a cousin of mine, his name was Tony Moffat. He was killed. He was 18 years old. This was back in 1994. He was walking home from work drunk, and he was struck and killed. And the lady who drove the car thought that she had hit a deer. and she had the audacity to show up at my cousin Tony's funeral. I don't know if it was she thought that maybe it was out of respect for the family that she showed up at the funeral, or if she was just trying to taunt my family. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but yeah, he would have been 46 on Wednesday if he was still alive. And Tony was a good kid. He was just a really cool kid. I was just a kid myself when he was killed, but he was really, really just one of the nicest kids. He could be a bit of a smart ass, but what kid isn't at that age, you know? But he would have been 46, and my family, my mom talks about him a lot, and she misses him dearly. And it's hard to take. You don't get over things like that. And especially when your life was cut short tragically. It's really difficult. It's just one of those difficult things to absorb and digest. Someone was on the phone.
Oh, I called Dad.
Oh.
To let him know that I almost got this laundry done.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of birthdays coming up in the month of April. We are down to the last 9 minutes of the show.
And all he can say is, "Oh, I'll see you when I get home."
And that hour goes by quickly. That hour goes by fast.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll use this time. I'll use this time to thank all of you for watching this week and for indulging me for about an hour. And the show was uninterrupted.
Finally, for once.
Well, I mean, the past few weeks have been, uninterrupted. And I like having you and Dad out here because if I run out of things to talk about, you'll have something to talk about.
Well, one thing I didn't get to talk about this week that I wished I could have and would have been out here for was being able to talk about all the death that's gone on in both of our sides.
There's been a lot of it.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of death going on.
Friends and family.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people.
I need it to stop for a while. My mind can't focus on all of it at once.
And there's a lot of people who are local who know me and I know them. They're not aware that I have this YouTube channel, that I do the Sunday video update every week. But if you are, welcome. Hi, it's Jared. It's Jared Bear.
Hi, it's Amy. Amy.
But usually I talk about that, like all the death that we've sustained. And there's been so much of it.
You were swinging by yourself, so you just sort of misplaced it today.
Well, I mean, there's been so much. Yeah, there's been so much death going on. I mean, we just had
my mom on the 22nd.
Yeah.
Then after that was
see if I can. There was an actress who died.
The guy that Dad worked with.
Yeah. Well, there was an actress who just died. She did the voice for Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head on Toy Story. Her name was Estelle Davis. Oh. She died. Yeah. She was 93 years old. For those of you who didn't know, yeah. And she was on Seinfeld. That's what I wanted to talk. I was going to point out. I'm kind of glad you mentioned that, all the death, but to agree with what Amy's saying, there's been a lot of death. There's been a lot of it. And people who are dying so soon. Yeah. We wouldn't expect them to die so soon. They die young. There's just been a lot.
I mean, yeah, my mom was in her my real adopted mom was in her 80s, but still, you kind of wish that you still had them people actually here to be
always
able to be there for you, and you gotta focus on the fact that they can't be here anymore.
Yeah. Yep. You gotta accept the fact that life goes on with or without people, and life is gonna go on with or without us eventually.
I'm realizing that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why, and that's why I always tell people that all the time, even on Facebook, I tell people you cannot live your life in fear because this is the only life you're ever going to have.
The worst death is your own parents.
Yeah.
When you go through your own parents.
Right. Well, my parents are still alive for now. That I never like to have this conversation with my parents because I can't imagine living my life without my mom and dad. However, that's life.
Got my real mom. Lost my real mom.
And I have to accept that.
I lost my stepmom. I lost my adopted parents.
And I have to come to terms with the fact that my mom and dad one day are going to die. Yeah. They're not going to live forever. I'm going to die someday. There's nothing I can do to stop it. But what I can do while I'm still here, while I'm still living, while I'm still embracing life and spending time with loved ones, family, friends, I'm trying to make the best of the time that I have with people I love and care about. Because this is not going to last forever. This is temporary.
I'm sorry I'm laughing. Nothing to laugh about. But it's kind of cute back here in the background. Can't you hear?
Yeah, my dog snoring. But this one and only life you're going to have. You got to make the best of it. Stop living your life in fear. I had written a post on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it, but I had made a quick post that says a life lived in fear is a life wasted.
Yep.
And there are one of my friends, she's a dear friend of mine. I love her to pieces. I adore her. But she disagreed with what I said, which, okay, fine. You can disagree with what I say. I don't have a problem with that. As long as you have a logical reason instead of an excuse to disagree with what I'm saying. And I understand trauma happens. And there are certain things and certain people that still scare you that you don't lose that. However, the point that I was trying to make is that you have the power. You are in control of your own life. You get to choose. You get to decide how you react. And people out there tell me that's not how it works. Yes, it is. You have the power to choose how you're going to react and respond to certain things. And people, even. There's people that they set off the red flags all the time when I'm around them because I know who they are and I can't fucking stand them. However,
give you that body treat.
Yeah, you pick up on the body language. You get the vibe from them. However, I get to control how I react or how I respond to that by removing myself from those people.
You see what I did today?
Yeah, I don't talk to them. I don't look at them. I don't talk to them. I walk away.
Today we ended up having someone show up here, knock on the door. I don't even know who the heck it is. I'm here to look at the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when you don't know people, you kind of get a vibe from them. I mean, if you don't know them or you don't know what their intentions are.
And my first thing was, Jared.
Yeah, and the thing is,
strange person out here.
And the thing is, I've had people. I've been through trauma too. Okay, I've had people do some really horrible shit to me. But when I see, I don't know if it's just a man thing or what I don't know. I don't want to say that men are the stronger of the sexes or because there are men who are even fearful of people who've hurt them. But for myself, this is just for me. I can't speak for everybody. I want to make that perfectly known and clear. For myself, I have the mental capacity to say, I know who they are. I know what the fuck they did to me. I have not forgotten what they've done to me, but I'm going to choose. I get to decide how I react. I can walk away. I can pay them no attention. I am not going to let that or the memory of this person ruin my day. I get to pick and choose. I get to decide. I had that power rests with me. Nobody else. It's just like happiness. It's just like happiness. And this is not just positive power talk. No, you really and truly have the power to control how you react to things. If I'm not happy, it's up to me to decide what makes me happy. If there's certain people who've caused me a great deal of harm and trauma that I can't escape or I can't forget, I'll never forget what they did, and I'll never forget what, how it shaped me, but I'm going to choose how I react to that. A life lived in fear is a life wasted. And that's how I'm going to end this week's Sunday video update, because we have, in fact, surpassed the 1 hour mark.
A minute after.
So, Amy, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap this up?
No, sir. Just peace out. Be safe. And careful out there driving. Pay attention to everybody else and yourself driving.
And usually I turn the floor over to Dad. Well, Dad, let's get your commentary. Is there any last words? Well, Barkley, he's snoring. So his last words are sweet dreams. They're really sawing logs. For me, as for myself, I hope all of you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Sunday video update this week. I will be back next week. Unless something comes up and I won't be here next week. But if I have nothing going next week, I will be here next week. Sunday,
nothing going, I'll be here too.
Sunday, April 10th will be the next Sunday video update. So until such time, guys, have a great week. Take care of each other, and I'll see you on the flip side. Later.